Today I'm doing a 3-part series on water. For the first part, I want to tell you how I did not have enough water in an emergency. Over 2 million people have watched my video on the Texas freeze. But one thing I wasn't able to mention in that video was that the scariest part of the whole ordeal was that I didn't have enough water. When the water went off, I had a 24 case of water. That's all I had. When I took my neighbor to go to the store to get formula, they were out of water too. And when this all happened, the news was not giving us a clear answer on when the power and the water would be back on. In fact, I remember some news sources telling us that it could be weeks before the water and electricity came back on. We just didn't know. And that was a helpless feeling as a mother. You need water for way more than just drinking. You need it to cook food, for one. I don't think I had a shower that entire time. I mean, I didn't even wash my hands for like a week. I had to ration that water out, so I was very dehydrated by the end of it. I made sure that my kids had water first. But there was no scarier feeling than not knowing if you have enough water. You can go 30 days without food, sometimes longer. You can survive. You cannot survive without water. On today's series, I'm going to show you not only why you should stockpile water, but also how to purify water from sources that maybe aren't the cleanest, so that you can still drink in a survival situation. Because water, like toilet paper, is the first thing to go in a panic buy. Keep watching for part 2. Part 2 on my survival series on water. FEMA says that you should have about 1 gallon of water per person in your household. I recommend a little bit more because you need it more for drinking. You need it for cooking, washing, formula. You can go to the store and buy gallons of water or the little bottles of water packs. Or you can buy containers that hold water. I got this 5-pack of fold down gallons for water off Amazon for like $8. Just fill those up with tap water and store in a dark place out of direct sunlight. As soon as the power goes off, fill up your bathtub all the way with water. Now, it doesn't have a lid, so it can be contaminated, but you can still use it, and you can still drink it if you have the proper tools, which I'm gonna show you now. This is a Sawyer mini water filtration system. You get them at Walmart for $20. It's rated for up to 100,000 gallons of water, so you can reuse this and reuse this for a long time. They also make water filtration tablets so that if you have stored water in a water-safe container, you can just drop the tablet in there, wait 30 minutes, and then your gallon will be safe to drink. And these things are the real deal, guys. You could filter creek water with this stuff. You can also use bleach to purify water. It would be 8 drops per gallon. You would need to put it in your water, shake it up, leave it for about half an hour, and then it would be safe to consume or cook with. I know that not all of us have a lot of extra money to spare, but water is so important. So I definitely recommend finding a way to get at least one of those Sawyer water filtration systems or the tablets, which cost a little bit less. Ideally, you want to have about a 2-week water supply, but not all of us have the space. So aim for 72 hours. Like I said, ideally 2 weeks, but at least 72 hours worth of water for you and every member of your family. And if you can't afford to buy one of these, you can also use empty soda bottles. You would just need to wash them out, put a little vinegar in them, shake them up, get that smell out, wash them really good, and then fill it up with tap water and store it, and then use your filtration system, whatever you're choosing to use, to clean it for consumption. Keep watching for part 3. Part 3 on water in a survival situation. This one's called Screw Nestle. If you're buying your water, guys, I'm going to recommend that you don't support Nestle. Nestle is one of the most evil corporations to ever exist. In the 1970s and 80s, Nestle went to third world countries and offered small samples of formula to breastfeeding mothers. The problem is they only offered enough to keep those babies fed long enough for the mothers to stop lactating. And these mothers in these third world developing countries didn't have access to clean water. Because of their aggressive campaign on the benefits of formula over breastfeeding and then not providing enough for these impoverished mothers to continue to use formula and not showing them how to use purified water, thousands of babies died. During the Flint, Michigan crisis, when there was no clean water, when there was lead in the water, Nestle had a huge supply of a freshwater source that they refused to share with the community. Their CEO said that water is not a human right. They've also been involved in cartels. And did I mention child labor? Yeah, Nestle uses child slaves. So when you're procuring your water supply, please try to avoid these products. They're evil.